Hello everybody and welcome back to some of our modded Minecraft Let's Play here, and hopefully this time my microphone is recording. From the looks of it, it is, but hopefully that's not just trying to trick me and it is actually doing so. So today, I have actually got a plan for once, but I do actually have to place down this redstone solar panel that I just created. It was quite nice to make, so now we've got 3 of those, and when we get to having 8 of them, we'll be able to upgrade it into a resonant solar panel, so that'll be pretty great as well. That's, I think, 512 per tick. Yeah, 512 RF per tick, which is, and a transfer of 1024 RF per tick, and 512,000 RF capacity in there. So that's pretty good. And sometime in the future, we do have RF tools, so I'm hoping to at some point set up a world that is constantly chunk loaded, constantly powered, and always day, and just set up solar panels in there and set it up to a test rack, because then if I use the if I use the flux ducts, I can in theory use the infinite RF transfer ones from thermodynamics, and obviously, as it says, it has an infinite transfer rate, and we'll never really have too much of a bottleneck in that sense. So hopefully that's going to be a thing. I want to see how much sludge we have. 101,000. How much? None spare. 58, and we have nearly 900 oakwood logs, which is pretty cool. How many of these do we have spare? We have 11, so we can go and throw these down. They're okay. But yeah, today I actually have quite a good plan, or at least in my opinion it's quite a good plan for us. I'm actually going to throw these in here. These guys should be still pulverizing and stuff. But yeah, in my opinion, it's a pretty good plan. I have a good idea, and I hope it goes well. Something I actually realized as well recently is I set up this entire thing, and I didn't have to. If I look up AE2 stuff, there's actually a crystal growth chamber which does pretty much exactly the same. It requires 6 of them, I just realized. So I don't have exactly got the resources. I only got 1, 2, 3, 4 in total right now. But you know, maybe it's something that we can do in the future. But yeah, first off, actually, you might notice I've actually got a new sword, a Manulin rapier. This is actually a really good sword, and if it gets to nighttime, I'll be able to show you like just how good it is. Basically, the rapier is really a useful weapon, because what its special sort of attribute is actually ignores armor values. And so, you know, I think it's mechanism that adds like a load of armor that mobs can wear. Let's say you've got a skeleton with full lapis armor on, or full glowstone armor, or something like that. It will just ignore that armor and just do the base amount of damage that this one does. And I've actually upgraded this one. I can still add one modifier, which is the nether star, but this actually does 10 hearts of damage, so 20 attack damage, and so 10 actual hearts of damage. And it ignoring armor ratings and doing 10 hearts of damage is an instant kill on any normal vanilla mob, which is really cool about that whole thing. So yeah, I made that. Used a lot of quartz, but luckily we have the enrichment chamber and the nether at our disposal, so that's pretty easy. Yeah, what we're going to be doing today is we're actually going to be taking these 6 machines that we have here. So the pulverizer, the redstone furnace, the magma crucible, fluid transposer, induction smelter, and energetic infuser, and potentially the igneous extruder that's up here. And we're going to be trying to upgrade them all to resonant. At least, I want to get them up to, at least up to reinforced, because we should be able to do that pretty easily. But if we can, if we have enough enderium and or ender pearls, really, I think is going to be the main issue. I only have 33, which should be enough in theory, because it's only 7 machines. But hopefully we have enough to do that perfectly fine. But yeah, so first thing we need to do, these guys are all at currently a basic level, meaning they have tin ones. The second thing we need, and I'm actually going to have to look up, for example, we'll have to look at pulverizer for a second. What we're going to have to do is take 4 invar ingots for each machine and an electrum gear, which is 4 electrum, and 1 iron ingot per machine. And we're going to have to basically add more. So that's 7 machines in total, which means we need a lot of electrum. 7 times 4, which is 28. So we need 28 electrum. So we need 14 of this and 14 silver. Throw it in the induction smelter, and this should be making all the electrum. Then what we need is the invar, and I've completely... Oh, how many invar do we need? I think we just need 24 invar as well. That's perfect fine, we've got enough invar then. How much iron? I have quite a bit of iron. Okay. So yeah, we can just simply do this, wait for this all this electrum to go through, and really we should be fine for making this. And then this, reinforced. Oh, that's useful. Reinforced. What we actually need is 4 hardened glass and a signalum gear, plus the machine in the middle. And to get a signalum gear, it's 1 iron ingot. We'll have to get 28 signalum in this case. Again, 7 times 4, if I'm working out correctly. 7, 40, yeah, 28. Unless I'm somehow become an idiot. But yeah, we need to get 28 of those. They're fairly easy, and we can actually either make them with the signalum blend, which actually we're probably not going to do because it requires us to use buckets of redstone. What we can actually do instead, this is the actual recipe. We get 3 copper, pulverized copper, 1 silver, and a destabilized redstone bucket to make that. What we can actually do instead is we can use this alloy smelter we have over here that I built. See that there? We can use 3 copper ingots, 1 silver ingot, and 10 redstone for 4. So it just makes it a lot easier. We don't have to worry about the buckets at all. So that's a pretty cool thing. So we're just gonna make all those. That's fine. And what I'll do is I will just simply do that. We'll actually get some of these machines that aren't being used for the moment. Those ones can come over here. And as you can see, these are now going to be upgraded to hardened. There we go. Use these guys, because these guys aren't exactly being particularly used right now. So, hardened and hardened. We want magma crucible first, kind of obviously. And we're going to have to... Oh, this is actually perfect, because it is at the exact same time that these guys actually stopped producing anything. So, those are now upgraded to hardened, which is awesome. So, as we said, we then... Oh, we need to... I was wondering where the last one was. It's actually up here. We've got enough... spare lava. I actually have a drum of 64 lava in my inventory at this very precise moment, so that's perfectly fine. We'll actually keep the igneous extruder in our inventory for the meantime, just because it's easier than going up there constantly. Actually going to turn the music down a bit. Turn it down to 5. There we go. So yeah, we need signalum. So we need 24 of the stuff, and how much do we get from each one? We get, I think, 4 from a craft. So we only need 7. We need 70 redstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just do that for that. Silver. We need 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And copper. We have a lot of, so no need to worry about that. Let's just do it this way. 7. God damn it. This is kind of 7. 7. There we go. So, this actually has an octadactic capacitor in it, which is pretty cool. I went and made one of those because I knew that otherwise I'd probably get annoyed with myself for not doing so. And yeah, we're just gonna let that go. I don't. Oh, actually, we need a hardened glass anyway. So what we can actually do, we need 28 of this as well. So 14 lead is the way this needs to go. And obsidian, I'm not actually sure too much about how this goes. What was that? Blast resistance ME drone. Ooh, that's pretty cool. But if we pulverize this, we should eventually hit 4. So, okay. And for each 4 we get 2, so we need... So for each 1 we get 2, so we need 14, which means we're 1 off. Luckily, we have this thing here, which is pretty cool. We have enough to make 1 extra obsidian. That should, in theory, be enough. The hope is, at least, that is the correct number. Because it's kind of screwing around with me. Okay. That's fine. Get some more iron. I was going to say we missed out 1, didn't we? But I think I might be still crafting, yeah. Sometimes this thing mixes me up a bit. Let's just throw that in there, don't have to worry about it. Let these, we can actually, as I was going to say, just let these craft whilst this is going. And we should be fine and dandy. I'm not sure if you can actually turn this back into obsidian. Hopefully you can, because yeah, combine it 4 to make obsidian. But you need cobblestone, which is pretty easy, so that's perfectly fine. And then after this, once we've got this up to potentially resonant, we can what we can do is we can add augments onto it, which is obviously a pretty cool thing. Yeah, so I think I should have enough. I think, yeah, that's the correct amount of numbers. Correct number of items, or obsidian dust. What's it called? Pulverized obsidian. That would be it. And then after this, we need to think about what we need for resonant. So for resonant, we need silver, which we actually don't have that much of, annoyingly, and enderium. So we need 28 enderium, which I think is going to be the annoyance here. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'll make these, I'll do all the stuff that I need to do with these guys, and we can just actually do this. Don't need to, but yeah, what I'm going to do is I'll upgrade these guys, I'll do a bit of calculating on how many resources we need for the enderium, and I'll see you once I've got all those items together and have started to put them in the correct machines. Okay, so I went around, you know, the recipes, checked up all the stuff that we need in order to create this, you know, all the enderium ingots we need. So to make 4 enderium ingots, and that is in 1 craft, this is going to be using the alloy smelter for this one, is 2 tin, 1 silver, and 1 shiny ingot in here to make 4 enderium base. You then add that with well, 2 enderium base with 2 ender pearls and 1 pyrotheum dust, then creates 2 enderium ingots. So 4 enderium base, 4 ender pearls, and 2 pyrotheum dust equal 4 enderium ingots. Now we need to do this 7 times over, so that's to get 28 enderium ingots. So we need to make 28 enderium base, which is 14 tin, 7 silver, and 7 shiny ingots. 28 ender pearls and 14 pyrotheum dust, which is 7 redstone, 7 blaze powder, 7 coal dust, and 7 sulfur. So we should, in all honesty, have this correct amount of stuff in our ME system or one would hope that we do. So silver's the only thing I'm really worried about, but we don't need, or I suppose shiny as well, because we don't actually have any shiny. What we actually need to do instead is go with the cinnabar route, I think. So what we need to do is actually, if we, where is it? If we use cinnabar and ferrous together, we actually get a 100% chance of getting a shiny ingot. So we need to take 7 of these. We can actually do that, and then we need 7 ferrous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and those can go in there. That should be fine. Then what else do we need? We need ender pearls. We need 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. There we go. I could have probably just got rid of the 4 at the beginning. And then we need 14 pyrotheum dust. So we need 7 redstone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. And what we actually need is we're going to actually need 14 extra redstone for the creation of the blaze powder. Because I don't actually think... Oh no, we actually have blaze rods now because of the recycling and stuff like that. So let's see how many we get from here. 4. So we get... Okay, so we should be able to do that and get enough. And that actually gives us sulfur, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we need 7 of that. Coldness, which we're getting a lot of anyway. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And we need some sulfur. So let's just take this sulfur here. What am I doing? We can just craft up this stuff here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because we can craft one more set. But we don't want to do that. And hopefully these guys are finished with your 7 ingots. That's perfect right there. Then we can basically do that. And this is going to start... It's quite fast for this stage. However, for the later stages, it does get kind of slow, as you'll be able to see when we actually get to that point. So you can see this is going fairly quickly. We've got one more craft to go. And then what we do is throw like that there. And you can see the progress bar is going up 2 to 4 pretty much every single time it increments. So that's going to take a while. We're also, you know, ender pearls only stack to 16, so we're going to have to wait for that. But I don't know what else we need whilst we wait. I can't think of the top of my head. We need a lot of silver, and I actually don't know if I have any spare. Or if I can get any. Let's have a look. Silver ore. There we go. Silver ore. Or rather, ingot. I want to see where we can actually get silver ingots, if there is any byproduct sort of thing. We can get some more silver, but we don't have enough cinnabar, plus I'm not willing to waste that much cinnabar in all honesty. What we can actually do maybe is look at dust. I'm not sure if I have any spare. No. So I might have to go mining a bit, considering that's, I think, the only material we're lacking, unfortunately. Well, actually no, we should be fine, because 28 and we have, you know, 35. So I would have thought we'd be able to do it, but I'm not 100% sure on that fact. But yeah, we should be able to do it. I'm actually, yeah, I'm pretty decently sure we should be able to do it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait for the Inderium ingots to, you know, be produced, and I'll see you once those be made and we upgrade these machines. And maybe in between episodes or next episode we'll do the augments. Probably won't do them today, for the video at least, because I don't know if I could spell. We want overclocker upgrades, really, on these. Like, I'm not so caring about the cinnabar that I'm willing to, like, you know, slow down my production. I'd prefer to have increased speed rather than having the, like, gyroserve feedbacks. Though we might have that. We might have a separate pulverizer specific, or make these specifically for when we like pulverize redstone and gold, because as you can see, it's a plus 81% secondary chance. But majority of the ones we're going to go with this, and the obviously the ignis extruder, we're going to add these. But you know, this will mean that we get times 8 speed to our machines, which will be a pretty cool thing. So yeah, I'm going to wait for all this stuff to be produced, and I'll see you once that's all done. Okay, so we now have the correct amount of Enderium ingots, as you'll be able to see, and what we actually need to do is obviously make our Enderium gears out of these. So we're going to make 7 Enderium gears. Apparently we have 2 spare Enderium ingots. Oh, because yeah, it's a flux capacitor, because I had to make an extra set for this. That'll be also why I have a spare pyrotheum dust, I think. Yep. And then we want to make sure we got enough silver. Just throw those down there. Everything should be fine. And then we're going to have to pick up these machines all over again. So it would be helpful if that didn't happen. And pick up these guys and this guy as our last. Now, I'm probably, as I said, not going to do the augments for today, mainly because if I'm going to do the augments, I want to do them all at the same time. And I don't have enough ender pearls. I have nowhere near enough ender pearls at the moment, because we have 5. And each of the overclocker upgrades, or the augments, the like proper, the resonant ones, are like, what they are is, they require 2 redstone each. Not 2 redstone, 2 ender pearls each, sorry. Which is something we don't actually have, really, so yeah. But the good thing about this is, this can actually hold more now, so that's a pretty cool thing. So I can actually do that. And then we're gonna also come over to here. We really need an infinite water spot, really, around here, other than the lake, obviously. And this is actually where I can show you this sword here. As you can see, this guy has got 7 armor points. His profession is nothing, and he has 10 hearts. And we do that, it's just instant kill. And he had a balaclava on him. But yeah, it's a really cool thing to have, where you can just, you know, one-shot kill. Nah, it's not going to one-shot kill stuff like the Wither, because obviously that has more health, but I do have that other cleaver that I will probably use for things like that, in all honesty. What are we doing? We need to go up here. In the thing. We do that. It's now set to cobblestone. This is fine. You can now see how little 1 bucket is in here. But I'm not sure if this will produce faster now, but I know that when we get the augments in there, if we have a look at the augments again, the first augment makes it so you can have up to 16 cobblestone per operation, 8 stone per operation, and up to 4 obsidian per operation, and also uses half the water. This actually makes it so you can have 32 cobblestone per operation, 16 stone per operation, or 8 obsidian per operation, and uses uses 75% less of the water. And this one, you can have up to a stack of cobblestone, half a stack of stone, and 16 obsidian per operation, and it's 87.5% less of the water is used. So that is a really useful thing to have when you're trying to create. I think it's more in the case of, well, like the less water used is more in the case of like making obsidian, but it's really useful for you know, making cobblestone, or making a lot of it. Really, because you make 64 per operation, or up to 64. It's not always 64, which is a bit of an annoyance. But okay. But you know, sometimes you just have to deal with that. And you won't really notice a difference, I don't think, unless you're really keeping track of like it being exactly divisible by 64. I've completely forgotten what I was going to say after that. Oh, we need to make some new armor. That's actually something I'll probably do next episode. I want to get on to either making I want to make 1 of 2 pieces of armor. What the hell is a smart helmet? I want to make either a flux infused helm or a dark helm. Now, dark helm's probably better for us in the long term, but I do like the redstone. Oh, mana cake. I'll probably make the redstone fluxed infused ones for us. I'll probably make this first, because this actually, like, it doesn't take a while. Like, it's only obsidian, pulverized coal, and iron for each ingot. But the upgrades where it actually becomes really useful, we don't actually have. We won't have, sort of thing. But they are really good. You can have vibrant crystals, which means it is empowered. You can have a sound locator, night vision. Goggles of revealing can be also added to it, so that's also a great thing. Spectacles, which I'm not 100% sure what that does, and apiarist hat, which I think helps you with bees, and I think the other one might help you with bees as well. So that's a cool thing. So yeah, we'll probably, that's probably going to be our end sort of armor when we get that. But yeah, I think next episode we'll make the redstone flux stuff if we get enough materials, because obviously I need to mine a bit more. I might make a digital miner in between episodes. I think that'll be maybe a good idea for us, because, you know, I've made one before on camera and I can just, you know, use it, and it's a pretty useful thing to have. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.